So we have the brand new episodes of the Barbershop debates, and I feel like this was an important topic that needs to be addressed in relation to how people face struggles in workplace environments and how it's an issue that is still ongoing today.
If a black brother is walking down the street with dreadlocks, he looks scary or whatever. But when it's on a white person, they don't look scary. That's the only issue.
Hey guys, it's Moran. I hope you guys are all doing well today, and I thought that this topic was definitely most needed. I feel like a lot of debate shows are talking about it, and I'm kind of happy that this is being addressed. We have people like Azariah and Ayo from Barbershop London who are referring to the fact that when they are workplace environments, like Azariah knew somebody who worked for Burberry, and they said, they would pay people to relax their head, etc., etc. And Ayo talking about when he was a teacher at a particular school, and the fact that they said to you, you're trying to act Jamaican, or referring a place to your hairstyle when other people of colour are happily being able to do it, and white people be happily able to do it, and there's no repercussions for them.
Oh, so you're looking very Jamaican and exotic.
No, he gave you a destination.
But when it's for you, it's a different story. Why is that? That in itself was addressed, but the second problem, which I felt that was far more important to be addressed, was that you don't know that it's going on. Number one, in relation to the fact that when somebody tells it to you, you're just rattled, your brain is shaking, you're thinking to yourself, what is this really happening? And you laugh it off, you ease it off, and then afterwards you're thinking to myself, did I let that run? Did I actually allow that to happen? But that in itself only really just shows how powerful the workplace environment is, or any form of environment, to be honest, but you're not actually responding to what's happening the way you want to respond because you're just so confused as to what is going on. You just can't comprehend these ridiculous things that you are told, and you just feel attacked in so many different shapes, forms and manners, but you don't know how to respond. So that I feel is probably why I feel like I'm happy this topic was addressed, because people who may not know how to respond, who may be viewing these debate shows and viewing these topics, will have some ammunition in order to respond in the way that they should do. And I feel like that in itself is why I'm happy they are addressing this particular topic. And Robbie talks about how the idea of excuses, do we really need excuses? Are we making excuses? Surely we should, rather than make excuses, make solutions to the excuses. So I feel like that in itself was a very interesting perspective one could add to the debate that I was happy that he was doing. Then we have Andrea, who kind of presses on societal projections. Societal projection in relation to the way where one person of a colour wears the particular hairstyle, they are seen as fine, and if the black person wears the particular hairstyle, they're seen as negative, angry, heavy connotations, and every other people touched on that as well. And I feel like that is a pressing matter, especially living in societies today where certain people can do certain things and they're seen as absolutely fine, but other people doing it, mainly white people doing it, we are good, it's fine, it's not a problem, it's not an issue, there's no danger to society by us doing what we're doing, but if anybody else is doing it, we have these heavy connotations plastered upon the headspace. So I feel like that was an important matter, and the first point of healing or understanding it is acknowledging it, and that's what's been done. And the second process I would say is talk about it to the point where you just have to continuously take a stand, especially on social media, which is becoming a very powerful force day by day, minute by minute. I feel like these debate shows really are helping to progress people's understandings of certain situations and complexities in our society today that are simply just becoming a huge problem. And the more we talk about it, the more we're aware of it, the more we are educated about it. Somebody else said on the show as well that education is a key element, and I feel like education can come in many different pathways. Just because one thinks he's clever with all these degrees, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's just as wise as somebody else, because everybody has education in different forms of different areas, and we all can learn from each other. Simple as that. So when it comes to the workplace environments, people talk about the struggle, about how they're told to wear their hair a certain way, or they can't wear their hair, they're not allowed to come in like this, or when they're young kids in school as well. You have all these forms of passive aggressive racism that really does go on, and I feel like addressing it is a very important matter. I do feel sorry for people who would obviously, I've never gone through that myself, but just to have you wearing a hairstyle and then being told you can't come into school today because of your hairstyle, like, are you mad? That's just so ridiculously disgraceful that you can't really imagine the immeasurable forms of pain that one would go through, or the subconscious psychological facts and the subconscious psychological impact they can have on somebody as a child, let alone an adult. So all in all, I'm happy with this particular debate show. I feel like everybody kind of added their points. Certain people added more than they needed to. I feel like Ayo's story, which was very prevalent, I love when people add their own personal stories, because it really just adds their own depth into the actual analysis of the conversation that we are discussing. And I feel like societal projections was the main point, and Andrea and somebody else making the show as well. And I feel like that in itself is very important, that while some people wear certain stuff, it's okay. Other people, primarily black people, wear stuff, it's not okay. So I feel like these heavy connotations, these stereotypes, they need to be gone, but it's easier than done. It's a long process, and hopefully talking about it will aid the progression. Let me know what you guys think of my set review, and let me know what you guys think of this particular show, Barbershop and Word on the Curve. I feel like it's definitely a good review show, and I would happily love to see them. I would happily love to see them keep on going, because I feel like there is most definitely some potential with this show. Hit me up on my Instagram and my website, the deal up below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll most definitely catch you guys soon.